precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. 4th Randoli Perehara of Kandy Asala Perehara scheduled to parade the streets tonight. The President calls on Chief Prelates of Malwata Askeri chapters. State banks opened today to pay Aswasuma's subsidy. Kandy blessed with rain during Asala festival. Today is Nikini Poya Day. It comes as the second Poya Day for the month. Over 900,000 tourists by end of August. Sri Lanka's export earnings surpassed $1 billion mark in July 2023. News overseas. Ukraine war. Drone attack hits airport in northwest Russia's city of Pskov. In sports, the 16th Asia Cup cricket tournament commences today. Local news in detail now. Heavy rain fell in Kandy and its surrounding areas yesterday afternoon when the 4th Randoli Perehara of Kandy Asala Perehara was scheduled to parade the streets, ending the dry weather that had been prevailing for many months in the area. There is a belief that rain will fall in Kandy with the commencement of the Kandy Asala Perehara, and the people who had come to watch the Perehara gave their blessings when the rainfall began. After the British conquered the upcountry in 1815, the British rulers stopped making rituals for the relics of the Temple of the Sacred Tooth. But history says that at that time there was a period of severe drought without rain, and the English had to hold an exhibition of tooth relics in anticipation of rain on the advice of the Nilames. It was reported that after a great relic of the sacred tooth was brought to the Mahamalua, heavy rainfall started and Kandy was flooded. Today is Nikini Poya Day, which comes as the second Poya Day for the month of August 2023. The significance remains as main events which happened on a Nikini Poya Day are the first Dhamma Sangayana, which was held after 3 months from Lord Buddha's Parinirvana, and the attainment of Arhatship by Lord Buddha's chief disciple Anandathera. It is the start of the rainy retreat of the Bhikkhu-ordained monks. Nikini Poya Day celebrates the Dhamma Sangayana, the first Buddhist council. According to Buddhist tradition, the council was held shortly after the death of the Buddha and is dated to have taken place around 400 BCE. At the council, what the Buddha has said was agreed upon and recited. It was held at Sattapani Caves, Rajgriha, Bihar, India, under the patronage of the king Ajatashatru, with the monk Mahakashyapa presiding, and established the Tripitaka, the Buddhist scriptures. Many Buddhist religious programs are organized in Viharas, Buddhist temples island-wide today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has called on chief prelates of the Malwata and Askeri chapters last afternoon. Initiating his engagements, the President first visited the Malwata Mahavihara to meet with Most Venerable Sri Sumangala Mahanayaka Thera, engaging in a brief yet impactful conversation. President Wickremesinghe received blessings, and the venerated Theras chanted Set Pirit and extended their blessings. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also paid a visit to the Anunayaka of the Malwata chapter, Most Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Sri Vimala Dhammathera, engaging in a concise and meaningful discussion. Subsequently, the head of state proceeded to the Askeri Mahaviharya, where he received blessings from the Askeri Mahanayaka, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Jnanaratana Thera. Present at the occasion was also the custodian of the historical Mutyangana Raja Mahavihara, Dr. Venerable Muruddeniye Dhammaratana Thera. Continuing his interactions, the President visited the Anunayaka Theras of the Askiri chapter, Venerable Anamaduwe Dhammadasithera and Venerable Vederuwe Upali Anunayaka Thera, engaging in insightful discussions. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. Continuing with more stories here at home. The chairman of the Aswasama Welfare Benefit Board, Jayanta Vijayaratna, said that the second group entitled to the Aswasama Welfare Benefit will receive the financial assistance next week. Out of the identified 2 million Aswasama beneficiaries, payments have been initiated in stages for 1.5 million beneficiaries. Under the first stage, 4.3 billion rupees has already been deposited into bank accounts of 689,803 beneficiaries. The chairman said this at a media briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre. He emphasized that the public should not worry since all the eligible applicants will receive benefits in due course. Finance State Minister Dr. Ranjit Singh Balapatia said that state banks will open today even though it is a public holiday to pay the Aswasama subsidy to the people. He also said that there has been good response to a request to keep the state banks open even on Poya Day when it is time to meet the financial needs of the people. 5 billion rupees has already been allocated by the government for the first installment of the Aswasama Welfare Benefit. Payments will be facilitated to the public through state banks. Accordingly, State Minister Simbala Pitia said that Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank and Regional Development Bank branches will be kept open today. 800,000 families eligible to obtain the Aswasama funds under the first phase. The Treasury released the funds requirement for the program to the banks on Monday. That's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Export Development Board says Sri Lanka's earnings from merchandise exports increased by 2.18% in July 2023 compared to June 2023. As per the provincial data released by Sri Lanka Customs, merchandise export earnings in July 2023 have surpassed the $1 billion mark, recording a total of $1.02 million. However, this is a decline of 11.79% as opposed to the value recorded in July 2022, the EDB says. This decline in merchandise exports is due to the reduced demand shown in export products, especially in apparel and textiles, rubber and rubber-based products, and coconut-based products. For the period of January to July 2023, overall merchandise exports decreased by 10.26% to $6.9 million compared to the corresponding period of 2022.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
And on Watch Live, the health officials warned that several diseases are rapidly spreading among children with the prevailing dry weather conditions in the island. Dr. Deepal Pereira, a specialist doctor at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo, states that conditions such as dehydration are common within children these days. Therefore, Dr. Pereira also recommended that children should be provided with more liquids during these days. Furthermore, the specialist doctor claimed that the diseases like diarrhea can also spread widely among children with the prevailing dry weather.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
World News headlines in Hong Kong: closure of Cantonese language group worries residents. Ukraine war: drone attack hits airport in northwest Russia city of Pskov. Chess rivals settle long-running cheating dispute. World News in detail. A group founded to promote the use of Cantonese in Hong Kong has shut down after authorities raided its founder's family home last week. The government cited the controversial national security law and asked the foundation to take down a 3-year-old short story. The raid is seen as another erosion of freedom of expression in the city. The group's founder told that he decided to shut down the organization on legal advice. Reports from Russia say there has been a drone attack on the airport of the northwestern city of Pskov. The local governor said the military was repelling an attack. He uploaded videos showing a large fire while an explosion could also be heard. An unconfirmed Russian media report says for Ilyushin, 76 transport planes were damaged at the airport. Finally, on world news, a Norwegian world champion and the US prodigy who unexpectedly beat him have resolved a year-long cheating rout that rattled the world of chess. Magnus Carlsen accused Hans Niemann of foul play after he lost in the Sinquefield Cup in September. Mr. Niemann sued his rival, the online platform Chess.com, and a second grandmaster for defamation. That's on World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
And on development news, Sri Lanka will pass the 900,000 tourist arrival mark by the end of August, according to the available date. Up to August 27th, Sri Lanka received 123,285, and in 2022, August total arrival figure was 37,760. By August 27, Sri Lanka had attracted 891,198, and with more arrivals expected for the Kandy Perihera and Asia Cup cricket tournament, this figure is expected to pass the 900,000 mark. The total tourists of 891,198 so far also overruns Sri Lanka's total number of arrivals for the year of 2022, which was 719,978 by nearly 171 to 220. Excluding the month of May, Sri Lanka has attracted over 100,000 arrivals each month in July, contributing to the highest of 143,039. India, with 26,227 arrivals, accounting for 21%, was the highest market of Sri Lanka, while the United Kingdom, with 14,236 tourists, and China, with 8,641, followed. Germany, 7,758, and Russian Federation, 6,080, were the fourth and fifth largest source markets for Sri Lanka tourism. That's on development news.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
And on sports news, it's cricket. The Asia Cup tournament starts today with the match between Pakistan and Nepal, which will be played at Multan, Pakistan. The match commences at 3 p.m. Sri Lankan time. The matches are played in Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The much-awaited match between India and Pakistan will be played at Kandy Pallekele Cricket Grounds on the 2nd of September. Sri Lanka will take on Bangladesh tomorrow at the Kandy Pallekele Cricket Grounds. Local athletics, the 34th National Youth Sports Festival organised by the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs, National Youth Service Council and Sri Lanka Youth Club Federation will be held from September 3rd to October 22nd in Mahargama National Youth Centre sports grounds and playgrounds of several districts. On September 3rd, the men's marathon, which is 42 kilometers long, will begin at the Youth Centre Mahargama, proceed to Meegura on the high-level road and turn back on the same road to finish in front of the National Youth Centre. The women's half marathon race of 21 kilometers will start in front of the Mahargama National Youth Centre and go back along the high-level road in Homagama, turn around near the Kandalanda Wood Mill and come back on the same road and finish near the Mahargama National Youth Centre.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමට සෙට් වෙන ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ්ෂිප් එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Star Points, the loyalty program of Dialog Asiata PLC, achieved global recognition by securing the Gold Award for the Best AUG in the Telecommunications category in Asia during the 2023 Loyalty and Engagement Awards organized by Marketing Interactive held in Singapore. This accolade marks a significant milestone in the journey of Dialog Star Points, affirming its status as Sri Lanka's internationally acclaimed loyalty program. This international recognition reinforces Dialog Star Points as the unmatched loyalty program in the region, offering exceptional value to its customer base.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමට set වෙන්න. ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හීන හැබැයි කරන්න. youth එකට නියමට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka fell back rapidly on its digital transformation process due to the economic issues the country faced, but have bounced back very fast, said Chairman for Asia Pacific Visa, Chris Clark, at a special event yesterday to mark Visa's 35th anniversary in Sri Lanka. He said that the whole South Asian region fell back due to COVID pandemic, but other countries caught up soon after. But Sri Lanka lagged behind due to the economic issues the country faced. But today we observe that Sri Lanka has made rapid progress in the digital payment sector and expect the current digital payments, which are also around $7 billion to increase to $14 billion by 2027. And in the meantime, they expect the e-commerce, which is currently at $2.5 billion, to grow up to $10.7 billion by 2027, he said.
Weather report.
The Met Department says prevailing showery condition is expected to continue in southwestern part of the island during the next few days. Showers will occur at times in western Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in Gola and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Gola and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the eastern and Nuwa province and in the Mullaitivu districts during the evening or night. Fairly strong winds, about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times in the western slopes of the Central Hills, western and Sabaragamu provinces. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. On the apparent southward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during the 28th of August to the 7th of September this year. The nearest towns of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead today, that's the 30th, are Thalaimannar in Mannar district, Iramiyankulam in Vavuniya district, Karapukutty, Trincomalee district, Palampasi, Mullaitivu district, at about 12:11 noon. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Before we conclude this bulletin of news, back to the headlines. Fourth Randoli Perahara of Kandy Asala Perahara paraded the streets. The President calls on Chief Prelates of Malwa Taskiri chapters. State banks open today to pay Aswasama subsidy. Kandy blessed with rain during Asala festival. Today is Nikini Poya Day, which comes as the second Poya Day of the month. Over 900,000 tourists by end of August reported. Sri Lanka's export earnings surpassed $1 billion mark in July 2023. News overseas in Ukraine war, drone attack hits airport in northwest Russia city of Pskov. In sports, the 16th Asia Cup cricket tournament commences today. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news, and it's back to Abhishek this morning to give you some good company.